Hair. Gracias.
You're not a get louder later guy.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'll back up.
God, I cannot wait for EDC. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to a brand new episode with a side of chaos. This is Patricio, a.k.a. Rocky.
Salty Ann's here too. Hi. Hi.
Dude, how you been, man?
We're doing it.
We're doing it?
We're doing it. We're doing it live, man.
I know, man.
It's
Fuck
fantastic.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, can you turn me down a little bit? I'm ear piercing.
I can totally do that.
Definitely. I'm sure the people on Facebook are just like, who is that fucking loud, scratching Gilbert Godfrey sounding motherfucker?
You do sound a little bit like Gilbert Godfrey.
I know. I'm leaning into it.
Yeah,
That's why.
Now it's like a mixture of Tom Green and Gilbert Godfrey.
Now it's Eminem and 8 Mile. And that's the end of it because I'm just a poor person now. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. We are writing fucking lyrics in spaghetti language. Yeah. Go. You take the mic for a moment.
Thank you. I'll gladly take the mic for a moment. We haven't seen each other in a week. What'd you do in the off time, bro?
I went to Legoland.
Ooh.
Did we do Legoland before?
No.
We didn't do Legoland. That was fun. It was very scary, but it was very fun because there were lots of children's in water parks. And that is a super spreader right there. And I'm just not going to deal with that anymore.
I kind of did the same thing. I put myself in danger and went to MegaCon 2021.
Yeah, I saw a picture of you basically holding up another dude. And I said, if you pick me up, I will kick your ass to the moon. No money.
Dude, I love that photo right there because we had so many people in front of us taking the photo of me lifting up Batman and Deadshot trying to take me down.
Nice.
That was a really good photo.
Dude, loved it. But yeah, no, it was insane MegaCon this year because, after last year they canceled it. And we were waiting on this for a while to be able to do our cosplay, to get new comics because we don't go to the comic book store, to interact with people that have the same love and passion for the shows, movies, cartoons, anime, what have you. Like that little character that made one appearance in episode 13 of season 6,
Right.
It is what it is. And it was fun. It was such a liberating experience, and I cannot wait.
What's really interesting to me about MegaCon is I went there when my son was 1. So he didn't really appreciate any of it. And I wasn't super nerdy back then. Like, I liked Star Wars and I liked Marvel. It was cool to go to the movies and see what they were going to do next. But it wasn't like the infatuation now that I'm like so deep in MCU universe and disrespect DC wherever I can. Like I'm a territorial pisser now.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to go to MegaCon next year on the panels.
No, dude,
and be a douchebag.
If we save up from now until like 6 months from now, we could put a deposit on a booth for Chaos. We will be there all 4 days, living it up, man.
Oh, that's cool. You book Orlando, I'll be in LA doing Comic-Con. And you will be there with me. And we can have our co-host hang out here in Orlando.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
our
that
assistant.
idea.
We can get your law firms to put their assistants as the host of Chaos for that entire week because we are that good.
You're fucking wild. But dude, we forgot about the people that are in the room.
We did.
Yeah.
We did because we haven't been together except in passing.
Yeah.
He took the microphone away from me last night to sit down on the show I was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please.
Because dude, it was by fate that it was the Get Upside app. Damn it, plug in Get Upside real quick.
Are they offering us money yet?
Not yet.
Then fuck Get Upside until they offer us a nice cut check.
I had to go to this certain gas station to get the money, the cash back. And ironically enough, it was the one right around the corner from Rick's. And I'm like, you know what? This is fate. I should be here right now. So I tried texting you. You didn't pick up. And then I ended up just like walking into the door. I'm like, it's my turn now, bitch.
Yeah, that was pretty much how it happened, guys. Let's introduce our guest for the day because I feel like they are really excited to talk about the things going on in their world. I'll make an announcement at the end.
All right. In studio tonight, we are joined by Jaxton Wheeler and Cherry Lamore. How are you both doing tonight?
Doing wonderful.
Amazing.
And thank you to both of y'all because this was kind of like a last second thing. And you guys just like came through. Like you were just like, I'm in, bro. I'm totally down. Let's fucking do it. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And we finally met in person and not on the weird interwebs where we have conversations of crypto.
Right? We've had many conversations.
Yeah.
Bring it a little closer. Like bring the microphone closer to you.
Yeah, we've had many conversations.
Yeah. BNB. Still wish I had about 3 of those right now. I'm mad. I'm honestly mad.
There's a lot of things that I'm going to choose to just
not talk about.
Forgive myself for. And move on.
Yeah, me
We're
too.
moving on. It doesn't help to think about it anymore. It's not coming back.
Yep.
Now, the last time that all of us were here was for our Christmas episode, our coming home for Christmas episode, which was the second part of the Onlyfans. So this is now an Onlyfans trilogy.
Right.
Oh, wow. We Star Wars'd it.
We fucking Star
What's
Wars.
the happy ending?
Or
Or do we have another 9 films? Because that between porn and
this is not the end.
it never is the end, is
it? Will not be.
So supposedly
we're gonna reshoot that last trilogy.
It will not be the end.
At the end of this one, they have little teddy bears dancing around, so I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, the end of Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks.
Oh yeah, okay.
Wow, bro.
I was thinking.
Cherry is like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Why am I
was
here?
thinking on our side.
Yeah, I was
what are
thinking-
the teddy bears?
I was like, wait a second, Teddy
Ewoks.
Like,
It's the
in, our,
Ewoks.
in our sex worker world, what is the teddy bear like?
It's not a furry, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Okay.
Which those motherfuckers showed up in MegaCon, but we're not going to talk about that.
Sorry,
Crash.
I was there.
Crash in the party. They're like, hey, we're in costume.
I was in upstairs and it was sanitary. Fuck.
No, and there were so many text messages. I mean, not text messages, Snapchats of people telling me they're here. They're here. Like, dude, they would send snaps of like, yo, why are they here? We're not discriminating or saying anything.
It
bad
was a
about the
mega
furries.
con.
It's MegaCon.
Yeah, but
It was a mega con.
I get what you did there.
I see what
And
you
that's
did
a
there.
fantastic joke. You should do that one in your stand-up.
But let me give you a little bit
When I
more
stand up,
about
just
our
when I-
guest tonight, and I love for them to dive in when I throw them the talking stick. Jaxton is an international, cool ass adult entertainer, and you've shot over how many films?
Oh, I mean,
To the mic.
oh yeah, sorry. I mean, over 200.
Over 200.
Not like a phenomenal amount.
Mm-hmm.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. You know,
There you
it's
go.
hard work.
But I kind of feel still like an underachieving hoe.
Can you dive in on that one? Like underachieving hoe.
Like all the rest of my friends, because at one point I had made it like to the upper echelon of the male talent in
The top of the
industry.
shaft.
Yeah, so I knew everybody.
You're at the tip.
Oh yeah, so I compare like the amount of films that I've done to all my friends, and like they're well over 500.
Jesus.
Some cracked like 200 in like a month. So I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, but I'm happy with what I did. I'm good.
There you
Like,
go.
I set a steady work pace, not
Nothing too hard.
Yeah, I felt like I've already put him through a
I'm
lot.
sorry that I'm doing these puns, but I just can't help myself.
You're fine.
It's his show. Just so you know,
Yeah.
I just pick up the legal problems that he comes across. He speaks about them, and then they never get talked about because I've solved them.
And Cherry,
Quietly.
who is and I remember we had this conversation last time where I kept saying content creator, but you guys kept referring to yourselves as sex workers.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I didn't want to cross any boundary or say something incorrectly. I mean, we're in the era of the whole pronoun stuff, so it applies to everybody. So the proper name or the proper term in regards to the line of work that you do with your OnlyFans.
I don't mind either way.
Okay, cool.
But all I know is I want a really great intro like you gave him. Just like one up
Sherry,
it.
you're
Pump her up.
fantastic.
You're like 200. I'm like, oh gosh.
But
That's
no,
impressive.
But if you ever get a chance to check out Cherry's Instagram, the Instagram itself is just the icing on the cake. Below that, you got the sweet, beautiful, amazing content that you're going to find on her OnlyFans, which is subscription based. There is a cost to it, but I guarantee you, gentlemen, each cent is worth each fucking cent. Cherry Lamore.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
I literally
So
pulled that out of my
sweet.
ass. I don't know how that.
Wow,
I did
the
that.
icing
No,
on the
that
cake.
sounded
I loved
right.
it. That was
all sounded
beautiful.
right. She does have an amazing Instagram. I've reached out to her because, she's the kind of caliber model I like to do like collaborations with.
Yeah.
And still,
I like that he just said collaborations.
Yeah.
Because in your world, I know nothing but as a viewer. So
Well,
I don't know.
You mentioned
anything.
earlier that you guys had conversated previously online. I'm like, yeah,
so
we,
I
but
know,
just in a different manner.
that
Yeah.
his safe word is. No, just
Well, what is my safe word? Is it bananas?
He really doesn't have. He doesn't have one with me.
Oh, well, I do not.
He doesn't have one with me because I tape it shut.
Well, he's not. Are you a Dahmer?
Well, no, he's not a Dahmer. I'm a
That-
Dahmer.
Both apply. Both apply.
God
Lots of
damn it.
eating.
God.
Lots of eating.
But no, dude. It's funny how you guys network in the sex working industry, content creation, adult film industry, where like, hey, yo, we should collab together. And for them, I mean, they're fucking. They're
Not
always.
necessarily.
No, not always. So the adult world is like a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there's so much that goes into it. There's a straight side, there's an LGBT side, there's like a strictly gay side, there's a trans side. There's something for everybody. So it all depends on the model. Like there are a lot of models that make plenty of money to make a decent living, never actually getting nude.
What?
Like photos, suggestive photos, AMSR, I believe.
ASMR.
Yes. So there's just like a lot of different ways to go about doing it, but it's how you market yourself. It's your consistency. Like actually in the sex world, the longer you go, the more like prestige you have, and the more people take the fantasy of you more seriously.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's why like older dom females, it seems so much easier for them. And if they really stuck with it, they like live this like fucking ridiculous lifestyle where they do actually have like people that are their subs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look into it, like it appears like they're living slaves or they're living subs, like that worship them and take care of. Like it's something that you got to really dedicate yourself though to.
Cherry, your take on what Jaxton just said. Because I saw some reactions to what he was saying. I want to hear what you got to say.
I'm an observer tonight, so that's mostly it, guys.
I think it's one of those things where it's out of sight, out of mind. So, you kind of, when you're doing your own thing, you just focus on what's ahead of you and what you're comfortable doing.
Mm.
And I feel like I don't research as much into the sex world and what all it has to offer. And honestly, to me, it's a beautiful thing. I know that it gets discrimination left and right, and that's kind of like why we're here tonight, to talk about. But no, I think it's a beautiful thing. For me, I haven't delved into that part of the world, but I totally respect it. 100%.
Is it a perspective thought, or is it more of like self-growth, if that would be something you would inquire in? I don't know what we were talking about, so I'm just like kind of following up the questionnaire because I was moving a camera, but this seems really intimate, so I'm even happier now.
I think self growth is a really good way of looking at it, because I mean, you can go your whole life thinking one way, and then you get introduced to a different lifestyle, and you're like, wow, I was blind to this life for a long time. But also that has to do with your influences and who you surrounding yourself with, and the way you're raised and your culture and so forth. So I think for me, like, I was raised in a religious home and I thought a certain way for a long time. And to get introduced to this community, it's really been eye-opening.
I bet.
In a good way.
I bet. I mean, because there is no other way to say it. There is no work like your guys' work. There isn't.
I agree.
Legally, there's no work like let's just put it that way. There's probably a lot of illegal work, and I don't want to get there tonight. But but the truth is, it takes a lot of fortitude to do what you guys do, because you do something private and revealing for other people's.
Yeah, I mean, not only fortitude, but just courage itself. I mean, there are a lot of people in this world that have, self-conscious about their bodies.
Right. Well, I told you guys I had a pimple thing, and I'm hiding behind a microphone tonight. Well, so I couldn't do a feet video. That wouldn't make any sense. They want to see the pimple.
Like in Europe, though, unfortunately, and this is a huge part of why the idea of sex workers gets a bad rap, is you have about a quarter of them that are kind of forced into it because of where they're coming from. There's no opportunity for them to be helpful for their family who's in need. So you just have like thousands upon thousands of mainly females, but there is a mix of males. The LGBT community doesn't get the coverage that the straight community does and females do, so the numbers aren't collected.
Okay.
So, but it is a large portion of females that are kind of either forced into sex work. They do it independently. There's a large amount that do it independently over there, and they send money back to their families. Right. Obviously, then there's the thing that we're all trying to fight against
and avoid talking about, because we want to stay here.
But but then there are people who have the fortitude, the business attitude, and stay safe and can wield their prowessness, and they make a really good life for themselves. They take the time to invest what they make. They maybe work a side job as well. They make good friends. They get whatever it is.
Yeah. It builds community around.
There's plenty of examples.
It's your safeguard from awful assholes outside trying to do white picket bullshit.
Now, I know here in our podcast community, if one of us needs help with another project or anything that we're literally ready to help out.
Usually the circumstance, we'll always try to help out friends and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's like education, courtesy. Yeah, it's a courtesy to our friends.
Professional courtesy.
Yeah, professional courtesy. I'm not either of those things, so I'm like professional or courteous is not me.
Yeah, even in your guys' comic community, like the comics, the Orlando comedy scene,
right?
You guys help each other out all the time.
We do. It's a very warm and loving community of narcissistic, nihilistic, angry people.
But it's also the comedy community.
Comedy, yeah.
No,
none of us are normal.
No,
get out of here. We're a loving family. We hug.
Oh,
we hung it out at open mics after done, sing Kumbaya with cigarettes and weed.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep.
But on tonight's episode, the reason why I brought you guys is that earlier this week, there were some rumors that kind of hit the airwaves in regards to the content that Onlyfans was going to be putting out there beginning in October, and which is basically no longer sexual content on this platform that was once a safe haven for sex workers, content creators, performers of all likes. And I reached out to I actually reached out to you, Jaxton, because you've been in the industry for quite a while. You know the ins and outs, and you're on a separate level or separate area when it comes to OnlyFans. But Cherry, you have a good foundation with this platform. You have a following. You've built something from this platform.
Yeah.
And for them to come in and say, hey, listen, we're banning sexual content beginning in October. What does that do or mean to you guys?
At the levels that you are.
Yeah.
It's basically, I want to know what it's like for you to hear this news on whatever day it was that your whole thing's shocked.
And
what is going through your head?
Cheeseburger, but I am starving.
You do it off mic.
I think for me, like you mentioned, it was a safe haven, and it's been a little over a year for me since I've used OnlyFans as a platform, and it was something I grew on, and it grew on me, and I have supported them. And I mean, I've given them partial of my profit,
Right.
so it's like I support you, you support me, we have each other's back. So to see news like that, and of course, I had millions of text messages of screenshots. Did you see this? And I'm like, yes, I saw it.
Is it your outside observer sending you that stuff? Or
Oh,
is
yeah.
it everyone?
It was everyone. My
Everyone, yeah.
roommate's like, did you see this? I'm like, yes, I saw it like 2 days ago,
Wow.
So,
Talk about breaking news. You know what? If I had any stock in OnlyFans, I sold it now. And honestly, that's what I would do because this is not a good call.
and I think
It's a name brand for OnlyFans products. Like OnlyFans is associated with this kind of life. Now you're taking it away, and that's just troubling as a business model. That's why I wouldn't support them anymore.
Yeah, and one of the key points is that the company said that the decision was taken to comply with requests from its banking and payment providers.
Yeah, that means tech's getting involved.
So, Jackson, like, what is your reiteration on that key point?
So I can't remember where exactly I had heard it from first, but when those news stories first started breaking, my first initial reaction was, well, this isn't the first time that they've talked about they're going to ban sexual content, blah, 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 blah.
And that's with OnlyFans?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay, so this could be a bluff.
Now they've been known to be attacked by the mainstream media because here's the thing, like the United States is weird about its porn.
Right.
It's like you go to Europe and it's so much more laxed over there, or in other countries, and like Germany, it's just, and here where it's like here, and then we try to pretend like it's not here, and we're trying to like punish it for being commercial.
The one thing that I've always heard about the porn industry, I listened to a bunch of interviews before this, like today I did, and one of the porn industry persons who was like active from like 91 to like 96 specifically said that in this industry, if you don't have the specific contract, it's hard to do this kind of stuff. Is that correct? Or has that now been taken away? Like now you're independent. Well, I won't say the next part. You're independent. And now is that shaking you kind of right now? That's the real question I'm concerned about.
I think we're still progressing forward.
Okay.
I definitely don't think, I think us being more independent, it is a lot easier than it was in the 90s.
Right.
I was born in the 90s, so I can't really speak for the 90s.
Yeah, it was
but
filthy.
I imagine
it was filthy, and I loved it.
I imagine
like she was doing her B-roll.
Yeah,
we have progressed forward. It feels like we've progressed forward, but we're still progressing backward at the same time.
Right.
And and like you mentioned, just here in the States, it's like we're pushing it down. It's something that's a part of like our everyday lives, but we push it down and we try to hide it, and we're ashamed of it. And it's like, what do you have to be ashamed of? But that's what society has made us do. It's made us ashamed of it.
I liked how you guys, compared to, to the 90s. And I felt, growing up throughout the 90s.
Squigglies. Yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah. The
coaxial cable never seemed to work.
I remember that. The envelope was pushed for not only equality, but for awareness and a lot of things that were being overlooked during the 90s. Like we were waking up during the 90s. But at the same time, there was that small.
No, we were cleaning up in the 90s. We were cleaning up from the 70s and the 80s. Seriously, porn became a thing, like mainstream.
Yeah.
Or taboo in the 70s.
Yeah.
The stories.
They started getting a little bit more produced. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just back alley kind of look at Rodney fuck Jerry, and then you're showing it to your friends and it's like, but it's not that anymore. Now people are buying it in quantity.
But I didn't get involved until I was like 23. If I would have get involved when I was straight out of high school at 18, there were stories about models getting like $50,000 sign-on bonuses.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And like they became candy. If I could talk, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit.
You're fine. I smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Medical marijuana holder. Don't give a shit.
Like a 5-scene taping over a weekend or over a week, they'll get paid like 25 grand.
Yeah.
Like porn stars used to be able to be millionaires quite easily if you like got in rotation.
Yeah.
It was kind of dumb in the early 90s.
It was like they pushed all the money forward, and they hoped that it was going to work out in the best.
When it went from DVD to disc, not from disc,
VHS. From
when
VHS to DVD.
when it started streaming is when it really started going downhill in sales.
In regards to like the hard copies of you guys' product.
For the studios.
Yeah.
That's what they claim.
You good?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Good.
But as far as OnlyFans go, when the news broke, what I heard was it's not what it seems. It's like they have a section of OnlyFans that is separate that's supposed to be kid friendly. So what they're trying to make the announcement is publicly is that section will be 100% sex free.
Right.
So if you're going to advertise, there's a section that kids could take advantage of, or blah blah blah, parents or whatever. I don't know what it is. I haven't checked it out because I didn't really know, but I'm finding out about it. It's what I heard from people in the industry that I know personally. Is that's what the announcement was about. So if you are already a verified content producer, then you will be fine as long as the content you're producing, and this all goes back to the banks. They have like certain things that have platforms allow to be there to make profit on that include like violence, blood, bodily fluids, and certain other things. If it happens on the platform and money's accepted, Visa and MasterCard will shut down your merchant account.
Yeah, I remember this.
So as long as your content within OnlyFans and you have like the adult content setting like clicked on, I believe there's like a setting you click for that
right.
So people know your profile is like 18 or older only, right?
So from my gathering of information,
you sent me something.
I sent it to you.
Okay,
and
like 3 minutes before you got here.
Plenty of people have confirmed it. So basically, what's happening is the not safe for work platform will remain as not an app. You know, you have to go to your browser, desktop, whatever it may be.
So the app portion is going to be 100% clean, while the browser version is still all the fun.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
it's a pyramid scheme to get more people like me to get on OnlyFans and do feet stuff on the clean side. That's what you're telling me.
Yep.
Because that's the kind of irony.
You're gonna stop mopping floors and flip flops.
Oh. We're going to have a Florida Cabana summer all over a bar floor.
Get it wet.
Jesus Christ.
But the way I see it is you already have a platform where people do not safe for work stuff. Yeah. So you think that you're going to bring in people on an app for OnlyFans? When people think of OnlyFans, no matter your age range, there are family members I have that are old as shit. They know what OnlyFans is. So you know what OnlyFans is. So you're going to go and download the OnlyFans app for safe for work stuff. You're not going on there for safe for work stuff.
Stupid.
And even so, the not safe for work portion of it, you can still have safe for work stuff. Your comedians were going on there having like free subscriptions for people to get a following. So it's like it doesn't make any sense. Why go and do and make an app that's safe for work? It doesn't make sense to me.
It's the media.
Pat, we're getting OnlyFans.
I mean, it's really just the media. It's just another.
It's just
example.
Patreon for porn.
It's just an example of the media like taking a story and them just kind of making like they had to make this announcement, right? Like OnlyFans wasn't trying to make a big announcement, but they had to just put it up, right?
Yeah,
it's up there as like a disclaimer. Well, guess what? All the news stations took it and they've attacked OnlyFans in the past. They blew it up, and just like half of this country will just read the headlines and be like, "Oh, okay. It's done. It's done. It's done." It's actually not.
Yeah.
Because you already have to go through your browser anyways. Because last I heard, the app hasn't worked in a very long time.
I was on the app earlier today to see if everything changed over.
It was down.
I know they said October, but when you make broad announcements like that, sometimes that you put app integrations in, like Facebook will say, "Oh, we're taking away the daily for today," like the daily story. But then if you don't update your app, it's still there. That kind of thing. But at the same time, they're trying to integrate new technologies, trying to make them more accessible, like YouTube and whatever else sites right now are. Go ahead, Pat. Yeah.
I mean, we know as time goes on with the release of this app and having the not safe for work stuff only available through the browser. At one point, they're gonna have to give in. They're gonna have to be able to, because like here, we've all played with it. We all know how it works. Sometimes the browser is slow. Sometimes the browser just takes forever for content to load and things like that. It does get glitchy. So having a application that is focused just on that content alone, the delivery would be so much better, and I feel that you would satisfy the clientele to a whole new level. Because
they're catering to the wrong ducks. Does that make sense? Because honestly, right now, the way I would see it if I was a prospective investor in OnlyFans, okay? OnlyFans to me, name brand, I know exactly what it is. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to see exactly what I have paid for, and that's what I want. It's a catered service to whatever liking I have. And now that we integrate an app that is the opposite of what your brand, and they have taken away these brandings by making these kind of news announcements that we're going to allow our backers who provide service to our app, but not our clients who make shit. You know what I mean? I don't see this being as open and as honest as they say it may be.
Oh, at the end of the day, they're just trying to keep their merchant account. Oh. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what the hell they're trying to do. They built this thing, and if you look at the way other platforms have been attacked in the past, they've all given in. Yes, you're right. So at the end of the day, they're just trying to keep the boat afloat as long as possible until something has to be done.
Something is happening. Why are we not doing it?
Well, we'll get into that as soon
later.
as you want to.
Go ahead. Dive into it.
Well, that's what the crypto world and the decentralized web is going to be about. I told you. When you want it, you asked for it. You can't handle it.
Let's use a different example other than the things that Pat gives a shit about, so they make sense to Pat. If you go to a dispensary...
No, it's not even like that. It's just that I know that if we go down that rabbit hole that is crypto, we're completely gone from OnlyFans. And
no, it's technically in this particular concept.
It's still the concepts of the episode, because where do we go from here? And that is where it's going to... This is the only safe haven...
No, they don't know. Jerry. Yeah,
I'm not going to be able to chime in. That's not fair. You're going to.
I'm not going to get into the details. I won't get into the details. But the ultimate safe haven for sex workers digitally, selling your content and streaming and connecting with consumers around the world, is going to exist within the decentralized web.
It's good.
It's where you're going to end up. It's where you're going to have to end up. Because if you just look at the timeline of the crackdown on everything on the web that is sexual content, they're just itching at it. Look at Instagram. Look at how they just pick away at all the sex workers on there.
These merchant
hundreds of thousands of followers don't matter because you're not an actual pop celebrity.
Takes it down, yeah.
Playboy has a channel on Instagram.
So does Penthouse.
The fuck?
But it stays
just
up.
It's just the way you said it right there just threw me off.
He paused.
He paused like
looking at
Playboy has an Instagram.
You know, I'm actually kind of curious, and maybe you could give me some sort of insight. I'm not sure.
Throw it.
But the legality in porn on apps, that's a thing, right?
Seems to be. I don't know why, but it seems to be.
Can we get our invisible assistant to look this up?
Is it Brazzers or who is it that's on Brazzers that's on Roku right now?
Brazzers.
If a name brand is up, it's probably Brazzers. Yeah.
Brazzers.
I always thought it was Brazzers.
It's Brazzers.
Yes.
It could be Bazinga for all I fucking care. You guys don't know what I'm saying when I say it.
Yeah, I mean, just when I hear it from the people that work for them, they always kind of said Brazzers.
Is it Brazzers?
Brazzers. I'm just saying.
All right, we're sticking with Brazzers. Okay,
let's just move over to Vivid. That seems like
there we go.
Takes it back.
That's
but
classic.
No, I think that the legalities behind it is where they're experimenting right now, because the porn industry has always been ones to try out everything before it hits the mainstream.
Yeah,
technology-wise, which was the internet. You guys put the content out there for it to be out there and more accessible to more customers. But then the trial of where are we going to move forward with digital, which was DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah. I mean, Blu-ray and HD DVD. The porn industry decided to back up Blu-ray. and that's what flourished. 3D technology when it comes to Oculus. I know the porn industry started it off there, and it went into video games. Look at this fucking shit. The porn industry is always moving forward and breaking down walls when it comes to the development of new technology in this world. And in regards to the legalities of that, that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to see how far they can push the envelope with an app-based platform for porn. And I feel that, you have to consent, you have to verify, you have to do all this shit, which, kids will always find a way to break through that. And, it is what it is. I snuck into my uncle's room one time to look at Playboys. I'm sure we all did something crazy when we were kids.
I accidentally watched my mom's porn once. Like, not my mom's. My mom.
Oh, wow.
My mom didn't make the porn. I just want to clarify that. It was in one of
Mom
my
is safe, don't worry.
VHS thing, even VHS covers, and I put it in. I was like, oh, this is not Barney.
This is not 1989 Xmas Christmas video. This is not my dad's graduation from high school.
Mommy, what's Snow White in Seven Men?
Oh. It's a busy girl. It's a busy girl. It's a long shift.
She's a pegging machine.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I knew that was going to come out eventually.
But yeah,
her boots were meant for walking.
Falls on the legalities all fall on the subscriber itself.
Actually, not entirely, because
The subscriber.
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
In all of you, I'm assuming that there's someone here with an Android phone. One. Oh, super. And do you have an Apple phone?
Of course.
Okay. And what are those two things that you log into to download your apps?
The store.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the Apple
store.
Store.
Is Pornhub
Yeah.
up there?
No.
Nope.
No. Is OnlyFans up there?
No.
No. But can you go to the internet and download it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so here we have the real enemies of porn.
It-
The gatekeepers of why you can't make more money is because of people above the banks. Now, the banks are your immediate threat, yes, but you can't do anything. I'm sorry, as people, you cannot take on Visa. There is no way. Or MasterCard. Now, there are ways around it. That's the important thing of looking forward with technology. With NFT stuff, those non-fungible tokens, that just sounds pornographic to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it should. And with Cum Rocket and I know it. I'm in it. I'm about it.
Come
DeFi is amazing.
Called you Cum Rocket. Okay, there we go.
Cum Rocket.
Come rocket.
Cum
It's
Rocket.
because I was pointing to it.
Oh, you want me to cum rocket like your chair? I got you, bro. I got you.
That's what he said. Come
Come
Cum
rocket.
Rocket. We all have such dirty minds here. It's despicable.
Oh my god.
Well, he didn't spell it out. So I don't know.
Anyways, if you go to the
cum come out of his
website,
mouth.
it's a I better stop. It's a moon,
Yep.
but it's squirting. Anyways,
Yeah, there we go.
but anyways, that's how people are making money on DeFi.
Cum
is
rockets.
people are doing all your stuff under something else. So maybe it's time to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, just maybe.
One of
Even
the
more
So
entrepreneur.
let me ask you this: with you being in the industry and you being a worker of the industry, was there any signs of this happening prior to it happening? Were there any rumors or anything out there?
It's been ongoing actually since the OnlyFans started.
There
OnlyFans-
was a rumor a while back. Remember that it was supposed to be shut down or something? Because I remember because I
Exactly.
started looking
Yeah.
around for new platforms. I remember my friend like sending me links to different platforms that were similar, but I was like, oh, I don't like the platform as much. And I'm like, if OnlyFans gets shut down, I guess you could make something just as big as OnlyFans.
I feel like it's just if OnlyFans are smart, they just change the name and keep the created by OnlyFans. That's the exact
If only they
same fucking product, except now you can YouTube the shit out of yourself if you want to, because now you're gonna play Pen Pal, Paw Patrol, and all these other goofy ass kids shows that you're now putting on there. Like, what is your battle against YouTube? What are we doing? Why is this even happening? Is my point. Because it affects you guys for the decisions that these stupid assholes are making for you.
Well, they need something to put in the media to cover up everything else going on in the world.
That's true, yeah.
What else are they going to talk about? They're like, oh, well, this seems like a big enough situation. Let's just put this in the news today.
Yeah.
So,
or they're trying to bring the light,
joke?
or I mean, they're trying to bring the light onto our world for more malicious purposes. We'll see.
The deceit
we'll see how
from
it
what's
goes.
really going on. The little old looky-loo.
Yeah, I mean, you get everybody to be like, well, they shouldn't be, blah 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 blah. I mean, half this country is divided on every freaking issue. It seems by like polar extremes. So this is just like another one. Because like you see in the light of this, like the news when it broke, half the people online were like, just cracking jokes at people that had developed a good living doing that.
Right.
Like it was like super super small dick energy all across Facebook all day.
Right.
So on the line right now, we have
a call-in.
Yeah,
so
we have a call-in, and I almost fucked that up. So my apologies.
We wanted to make sure you finished your comment before we moved into the.
Yeah. So
who do we got on the line?
Caller, identify yourself.
Hi. Oh, do I have to? Okay, so I was.
Well, you don't have to give your real name. You can give like a alter ego.
Okay. Well, my handle on OnlyFans was Anna Angel. So, but it's fine. I deleted my account the day before this announcement came out.
Okay. All right. So we have
kind of interesting timing.
Yeah. Seeming that way.
Yeah. So I was just asking Jackson and Cherry right now the question of like, did you hear any rumors or anything, before this happened in regards to what happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily rumors per se that this in particular was going to happen. What I had heard from the very beginning was a lot of dissatisfaction from the creators as far as the OnlyFans platform. It's just terrible. Like it's very clunky. It's very it crashed all the time. The support was terrible. It felt really outdated. Like no investment seemed to be going into this website. And I would just hear like horror story after horror story about like girls getting fucked over somewhere, chargebacks and things like that. You keep 20% of your profits. You have to pay taxes.
Okay, well, let me ask a question since we're right here at that moment. What kind of tax forms do you fill out for OnlyFans? I'm just really, really curious. Okay, so it's a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that one is. I just can't remember the number. But okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that info. Sorry about that.
Cherry, she had said something in regards to. Oh my God, I was just going to say this right now. The customers, I mean, the service for the creators. Like, can you attest to that?
Absolutely. I mean, I just remember a while back, and honestly, I think it goes even to like Instagram, people reporting you, and that's really when they take a light to you in particular, because they're not going through everyone's profile. They don't have time to do that.
They're not Facebook.
So I remember I got an email a while back, and it said that I needed to take specific photos down, and it was after it was Halloween last year, and I still had some fake blood on me, and I even said it in the comments that it was fake blood from a costume, and they still made me take it down.
Wow.
Because they said that there's, no violence, no blood. And I was just like, but there was no violence. I was just like being cute, like with some fake blood, like on my face. And it was just, but definitely the support is awful.
Jesus.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Water sports, piss play, all that stuff. Yep.
Wow.
Reddit. That kind of put me on guard. Like there was something unstable about this company that it wasn't for the amount of money that was pouring into it. Like why weren't they upgrading? Why weren't they getting better? Why weren't they it still felt like somebody's college project that got big overnight, and like they just weren't taking the money into getting started development and stuff. So I don't know. I always wanted like a competitor to come out. You know how like Twitter came out after Facebook, kind of like made both of them improve, but it never happened. So I think it'll be interesting now. A lot of people are kind of like reassessing what they're going to do. Are they going to go to a new platform and see what kind of takes its place?
Wow.
Wow. that was really hyper focused, and I totally agree with you. That is undoubtedly a lot more information than I expected from the phone call. It was perfect because while we're taking in that information, we're understanding this isn't just like the face value of what they're saying. They're actually doing shady shit behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get sued.
And a lot of people are like, they're trying to get a new investor. But they obviously haven't learned. This happened to Tumblr. Like, Tumblr went and, banned explicit content, and like, who the fuck uses Tumblr anymore? It completely killed the platform. So whatever went into the business decision is just, I think, completely idiotic. And I think more stuff.
It's seeming that way.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't looking at something outside. I was just.
You had a thought, and I was keeping that I needed to get him.
Dude, going deeper into the rumor that she heard. Okay, so since the beginning of OnlyFans is actually essentially a stolen project.
Chat roulette. Just kidding.
That was for me. Right?
So if they're trying to buy out one of the founding members, that means they're trying to buy out the guy who originally paid to have OnlyFans made that it was stolen from, because they probably want to settle in court, because OnlyFans has been in court pretty much since it's been around.
Yep.
Like because they didn't monitor kids.
Verified no. If OnlyFans is smart, they'll rebrand themselves saying buy OnlyFans after the fact, but I think there'll be too much hurt before that happens.
I would be interested to know and to research how much legal fees OnlyFans has accrued since its inception, if it's been wrapped up in court, battling over ownership of OnlyFans, and on top of probably dealing with fines from who knows who, over not monitoring certain models and what they send, and also the kids. The Pornhub got screwed because they allowed too many people to upload kiddie porn, and they didn't monitor it, and they made profit off it. That's how they effed up. That's when Visa and MasterCard are like, no, we can't even give you a chance on that. Sorry, bye.
Right.
Like we're not gonna give you the chance, and we got to give everyone a chance. And before you know it, pedophiles have rights, and we ain't going down that route. Fuck you, get lost.
It's nuts.
I don't know.
Because they're owned by old Russian men.
Before you jump in on that one,
Russian men.
Caller, I just wanted to read this part of the article.
This piss.
I want to breathe this piss.
Payment processors Mastercard and Visa cut ties last year with rival Pornhub after accusations the porn site showed videos containing underage sex, rape, and revenge porn. Pornhub denied claims it allowed child sexual abuse material, and subsequently tightened its rules to prohibit uploads from unverified users.
Right. So they wanted to verify the users. That was the big conundrum about Pornhub specifically, is because it was YouTube style of sex. And anyone with a cell phone could create anything as they do now, but unregulated. And with that unverified status, you could have underage people participating in sex acts for profit, whether of their own accord or not. And that's really what that indication means. This is not the same thing. Visa and MasterCard were taking a moral stance against something that Pornhub was neglecting to face, and they corrected that situation.
See, to me, though, it has to be something more, because why not just like shift to crypto? Like, if only there was some alternative. The big credit companies that was anonymous.
That's exactly what I said. That's where we're going with it.
I mean, like, we are right there, and if they wanted to, they could have pushed the envelope and said, "Nope, Bitcoin and Ethereum."
Our buyer's market is really small,
and it would have adapted because, like, that it's almost there anyway. So why not just push the industry, say "fuck you," like, to major corporations and banks, put it on crypto. So to me, there has to be something else going on behind the scenes that made them make this decision. It couldn't just be the banks.
I think if they're smart. But I don't know. I think they're maybe under too much pressure right now from say the community as well, reaching out, trying to find out information. And you're also getting like, I don't know. It seems like the fucking Mormons are backing the new app that's no fun for anyone, except for maybe school districts when they figure how to implement OnlyFans into their schools. That is non-sexual content. But
I just had a little bit of an epiphany while all this entire conversation was going on, where there's no sacred ground.
No.
In regard, there totally is. And this is where I was going to say
4chan, right? We're going to 4chan? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
We are pegging.
Gosh.
We are pegging hard. Everybody in here peg.
Oh my
God. Sorry. My apologies. Sorry.
No,
I was just getting a 4chan. I got a flashback.
Sacred ground. I feel that like podcasting and the crypto market is in a sense like the last solid ground because we don't have any rules or regulations. No, we don't.
In this particular format and in this style, we do not have bosses. However, the moment where somebody comes handing us a big fat fucking check, I'll say, yes, sir, and suck that dick. Because that is the reality of our society.
And it has nothing to do with this show.
It has nothing to do with it. It is because I can
just hand me that fat check, baby. I'll suck a dick.
That
was my motto in the beginning of my career. What? I can't say anything.
This man.
I got the man who decided to go all the way. I got the videos.
I know you do.
Aww,
I've seen the videos.
But so like going into this further, there actually are developing social media platforms in the crypto world that we can all start joining, where sex workers aren't going to be like regulated or banned or booted from. So obviously, like I'd like to see something.
You're talking about like a new internet.
Yeah, that's exactly actually what the the blockchain.
And the other thing too, if I can just add one more thing, because it's like the one thing I feel really, really passionate about is that I think over this past year, seeing how many people have like started doing sex work and content creation stuff like that, I think that it's like really empowering for women who see it as a business opportunity. So what I hope is that people realize like you don't need a platform to do this. You can have like Google Duo, Skype, WhatsApp, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and just do your own shit. Like find your own clients, be creative about it, market yourself in places where thousands of other women aren't marketing themselves. Like find your niche, work on it, make your own website. Like who knows, but just like put some original critical thought into it. And I know that's really hard when you've spent so much time and energy, and your heart dedicated to one platform. But for those who have learned a lot about business, the best ones will pivot and they'll find a way to make it work. And so that's what I'm really interested to see like these, dope ass bitches who would have made their money during COVID and, take some
the
Doomsday headlines right, people.
But
so
you have how long have you? What was your name again? Absolutely. So you were. I've been in. Just a little over a decade myself, back when studio work was like the thing. And if the studio didn't like you, you're not getting work. So it was like, all the award shows as well. The OnlyFans, I definitely have loved it because it's more model friendly and, models can work whoever the fuck they want to work with without fear of a studio getting mad at them and not wanting to hire them anymore and all that bullshit. Freaking A, I forgot what I was gonna say now. One of those moments.
I have an
Go on.
offering.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
You got it?
I apologize. No, go ahead.
Okay. I believe that this is an opportunity. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
okay.
Please.
I got it. I'm sorry, I got it. So the thing I was gonna mention though, so with OnlyFans, now this is like the first platform in this country that's been almost exploded into like mainstream exposure, and it's been accepted almost, especially during the pandemic. Now if the news had been like so universally true as they were trying to portray it,
which they never do,
and OnlyFans was doing this, and thousands of models were going to be without pay, and let's say Instagram keeps its crackdown and Facebook continues its crackdown, the problem isn't necessarily that they're not business savvy, but it's where do you get the exposure? So that absolutely,
homie. Because you can't see me raising my hand, and I almost said your name. Goddamn.
But if OnlyFans bans sex workers and you don't have access to OnlyFans, and let's say Instagram cracks down even more and says if you push anybody even off Instagram without, let's say they all have to email you, no more websites.
I'm ready.
Like I'm just saying, like they're tightening down. They're changing the wording. They're really trying to make it so they can F us, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the answer to that.
Yes,
TikTok.
sir.
TikTok itself has given a platform for advertising. It's literally like the trailer to everything that's available. Right. Go ahead, Jerry.
How much are you killing it on TikTok right now?
Excuse me.
Yes.
First of all,
Jerry.
I still have to make a comment toward,
I'm
going to call her Lady Sweetness, because
Lady Sweetness
on the phone here. Okay. So what she said originally about being independent and people just going out and doing their own thing and being a badass bitch.
Right.
I totally agree with it. And that's why it's so great. If anything has come from OnlyFans, it has created community. I have met so many wonderful women, men, mostly women. Unfortunately, not a lot of men on the platform. But nonetheless, I have met so many great people that we all have the same mindset. We're all out here to make our own dollar. So that is also another great way to go about, starting your own thing, getting together with your community, getting a content creating weekend together, and you guys doing what you got to do and just coming up with a game plan together. You don't have to be in it alone. And I know that that's what is the hardest for me personally, is making that step forward and doing it and feeling alone and not knowing what I'm doing. If I don't know a lot about business, whatever the case may be, it's nice to know I still have people to back me up.
Yeah.
Do they still have this?
They do.
Yes.
I love that.
We call them.
They still
Sex
have them.
Panther.
They still have those, and they are still full of like old horny men who this concept to during COVID was like, oh wow, cool, I can do this. I don't cheat on my wife. I'm horny all the time. This is great. So I that's how I found my niche. Like nobody else was out there doing it on like phone sex chat lines. And so I'd make my ad. I got a fake phone number. I would give them my phone number. I would go and direct them over. I had all my content on Google Drive. I had the major payment methods, and every time they gave me money, it's considered a gift. So I don't pay tax on it, which is wonderful. Nobody takes a cut of it.
Yeah.
Nobody takes a cut of it. And the thing is, my plan had been to start OnlyFans to move my fans over there because it was quite a bit of work. And the thing was they didn't want to, like, they weren't tech savvy, they didn't want to do it. So I ended up doing both for a while. But the thing is like, Cherry, I follow you on Instagram. You have amazing stuff. I'm sure you have incredible fans. I think during this time, one of the best strategies is to like reach out to your top 10, your top 20, give them all of your contact information, let them know that you are with them, you've always appreciated them and stuff like that. And just like super cultivate that relationship because they will follow you. you know, and if I would say your top 10 to 20 fans probably supply at least half your income. I know that's my case.
Absolutely.
You know, because like once your top 3 donors, beneficiaries, clients, whatever you want to call it, it's like they put out a shit ton of money. And so they're freaked out too, because they're like, oh no, am I going to be able to see you again? You know?
Well, no, and that's right there, the enticing part where like the fear of losing her is going to it push them to go, to the new platform, whether it's, a personal website, direct connections via email, WhatsApp, what have you. They're not going to lose that, what they hold dear, which is, the model, the creator, the performer.
Yeah, that connection is what they see.
And to comment about TikTok, I'm sure, Rocky, you're not very well delved into that world as far as sex work goes. They monitor it. You cannot promote yourself. You cannot use, just like OnlyFans, you cannot use certain words. I see people using the word corn instead of porn.
Yeah.
You cannot do certain things. They will take it down and you will be banned.
Because like they're and here I'll give an example. The Busset videos that are all over the place. I'll click it and see, 9 times out of 10 there's a link to an Instagram. You click the Instagram, there's the link tree or all my links.
There's the buffer.
Oh, I have mine in my
there's the buffer right there.
Yeah.
Once it's off
I'm
Instagram.
Developing one myself for all
you lead a trail of crumbs to the promised land, and 9 times out of 10 they're gonna follow and get into it.
Yeah.
If they don't take it down before you get the
But you have to go through all those
you have
buffers.
to still post something that seems more enticing, unfortunately.
But I mean, Reddit, like, have you explored Reddit as a marketing tool? Yeah, I mean, you can post fucking anything you want, basically, on Reddit.
I think she's the only one catching it. I'm talking about my foot fetish thing during this whole conversation. I'm waiting until you guys catch it on the re-listen.
No, we're just ignoring you at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shit.
You know what? I am going to be a millionaire off of my Hobbit feet. We're going to do it.
Or your pimple, one of the two.
Yeah, goddamn. I'll pop this bitch right on camera.
He was making jokes about it. Why can't I?
Fair and valid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was like open
concurred.
game. Like, I had a pimple.
We concurred.
But yeah, no. I mean, TikTok is definitely not a platform I recommend for sex workers, for content creators. I definitely do not.
I actually started following a new performer on OnlyFans because of their TikTok. Because I followed the crumbs because they were, even on their TikToks, they weren't like
damn,
enticing.
they enticed you that much?
Well,
I gotta follow the crumbs.
It's a little redhead, and her and her husband are always doing these videos of hey, why
what's on your porno list?
Redheads.
Yeah, well, I like redheads, but that's a completely different thing altogether. Yes. But their content was so funny, and they're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna follow. And then I find the Instagram, and then I see that little sign, all links or Linktree or whatever. All my
links,
and I click it, and then there it is. OF, holy shit, she does content. This is awesome. I'm subscribing.
Yeah. There's I'm going to use a very example, which I think is really interesting concerning some of the banking issues that they've talked about and the banning of content on various platforms. This is hilarious to me because I put this together since the beginning of the show. There is one specific person.
Don't make us get over this table right now.
No. Okay, so there is someone I follow on Facebook. They are very extra sexual on Facebook but they also do Twitch. In Twitch, you're seeing the gameplay of what they're doing. And there is 4 streams going on in one stream now. Because she's doing Twitch for the gaming community. She's doing the Facebook for the clean community to draw in more influence. And she's also doing OnlyFans, but you have to pay for the extra stuff. She's getting paid 3 fucking ways.
How is she getting paid through Facebook?
You can
Facebook Pay is a thing.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's the other thing too. Is like you.
Well, think about it. She had.
I'm like, how's Facebook paying this woman?
She has the content on Facebook, and that's what she makes. She does for guys who don't want to watch her play the video game, but just watch her do her thing. So she's doing audio, and then she'll cut the dirty stuff and put it on the OnlyFans.
Well,
and she's at 300,000.
I
watched her studio thing. I was like, oh, I'm gonna follow you.
I think I know who you're
studio.
talking about. Where she's got the Twitch stream, the YouTube stream, the Facebook stream, and then the OnlyFans stream, which is basically like the camera underneath the desk.
No, it's beyond that now. If you don't know anything about her, I'm not giving her any credit because she's always making bank. But I'm wondering,
she buy a robot?
I have no idea. I'm not that
for underneath the table.
Oh, she should.
He's a bad receptionist. Make the receptionist a robot boy.
Oh, robot boy.
Yeah, coffee robot boy.
Coffee robot boy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Coffee robot. Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, we're completely off track on this
Hang
one.
the fuck out of him.
No, but she's making money 3 different ways. Yeah. And most of that is actually not. Now, OnlyFans being the Visa, MasterCard payment system, obviously. Right. But through Facebook, she has a different it's in Facebook bucks. And on Twitch, it's however they do their stuff. I don't know. I've only watched Tom and Dan once on that shit. Have you ever watched Twitch?
Yes.
How do you pay for things in Twitch? You do something for you cater to them, right? You throw them points or Facebook is gold because Junkie makes money off
that's also a whole nother community though.
Yeah.
You know,
but
like that's
community.
Like a woman playing video games, like that is a whole nother world.
And she does all
into.
3 in scandally clothing. I mean,
it's terrible.
I want
to play with them and hear what the dudes say. Sometimes it's just like Jesus.
I don't. Twitch is bad by itself.
I wanted to start my own ASMR channel.
You should.
In lingerie though, like that's what I was gonna start doing on my OnlyFans. I was just gonna just do ASMR eating in lingerie, and I was like, this is I'm gonna reach people.
I can tell you how to do it for $500.
Can I recommend like one of your first 5 ones be you just name desserts? Starting with donuts.
God, I'm on a diet. I guess I can do just because.
So one of the really interesting things my coworker did is him and his girlfriend went and started an OnlyFans last year during COVID, and like he and I kind of had like a friendly competition because we would always talk like the business side of it. But they're really nerdy, like as a couple, like really into Star Wars and like video games and stuff like that. And so she actually games, like has the whole computer, all that stuff.
Right.
So they literally, their whole niche was X-rated Twitch on OnlyFans. So it was like, so he did IT for a living. So he hooked her up.
That's it right
so
there.
He did yes. And so what they did was they went and marketed on Reddit. They went and built a following because what's Reddit but a bunch of nerds, right? And so you get all these, and she was cute little 5'4" blonde, she was 23, 24. And she had pretty small tits, but she marketed it to guys that liked small tits. So
exactly.
There's
she built,
a taboo for everything.
So they went and
I gotta be in the mood for small tits.
I'll take them any day over big tits. I'll take them small titties.
But anyway, they built a super huge following. And so what I think they may do, and this, I can't wait to talk to him about this, but I think what they may do is go and keep doing the game streams and stuff like they have on OnlyFans, but then set up a separate platform where somewhere if you want to buy the X-rated stuff, you can go. I feel like OnlyFans would be very strict about you can't promote other websites on our site. But I feel like you could just DM it to a fan. That way you still wouldn't lose your main audience, but you could have an additional revenue stream off of the platform.
Well, this has been a great marketing conversation, homie.
Actually, I think
that's the only way I can.
That's good.
This is fantastic. I bet we all were thinking that we were going to make jokes about and we didn't.
I think
not much.
I came on the phone.
The marketing aspect of it has really been the hardest too, and I think that's where you always get the question too. Is I have girlfriends that are always reaching out to me and they're asking me, well, how do you market yourself and so forth. And my first word of advice is, if you have family that you don't want to know about this, don't do it. I say that with the warmest heart, but I know from personal experience, with my family, with the old owner of my company that I worked for, found out too. Found my Instagram, found the platform, started making comments. So it's one of those things, if you don't want your business out on the internet and for everyone to see, everyone, including your family and friends, Don't do
honestly
it.
why I ended up deleting mine. That's honestly why I ended up, because I had been off the platform, and like I tried ChatterBait a couple times, and the second time I did it, somebody let me know, but like it's just live streaming and recording and uploading to like this porn website. Like, and I was like, I guess I was kind of naive. And I was like, oh shit, like shit. Where like if I do a one-on-one cam thing with somebody that I arranged like off of a platform, yeah, like they could do something with that video, right? But most of the time the guys I deal with are like, 30s to 50s, married, not good with technology. Like I wouldn't see them being like, yes, I'm gonna ruin her life, like it hasn't happened yet.
It's an Ashley Madison crowd.
Where when it's mass distributed like that, like I would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and be like, fuck, because I have like a professional job. And it just got to a point where I was like, I'm making enough doing the 9 to 5. Like I can start backing off on this and just keep like a very close circle of like clients that I can trust and pay me good money, and like an extra like $400 to $500 a month, and like not try to make a living off of it anymore, because it's just like I don't know, man. The long-term risk, I don't know. For me, at least, I'm like a wimp about it.
No, I mean, there's risk everywhere. So, in regards to promoting yourself, branching out and delivering that kind of content, there is going to be that risk. There is that danger. And,
Well, what you said earlier kind of changes the platform, though, for all of you. Now, you guys have entered a new industry. You're in it. And what you said earlier is what I'm referencing. The adult industry is large and vast, and there are so many opportunities for people to do whatever they want to do.
Oh yeah,
and OnlyFans promoted a new generation of people we can be excited to see at the end of the day, or at the morning, or in the afternoon, or in the office. Or in Pat's bed later this evening when he goes to sleep, because I'm a weird guy.
There you go. You just snuggle right next to him while you do it too. Yep. Just put your butt on him.
Shut up,
but,
you.
Yes.
But just imagine what we're talking about.
Put your feet on his feet.
This man woke me up one time with a steak in my face.
You're a fucking god.
Yeah,
no one's woke me up with steak.
I dripped my steak meat right into his mouth.
Was it cooked?
It was cooked.
Okay, I was like, was it raw?
That was so hard.
Perfectly seasoned. What? I woke up and like. Did you smack me or something?
I don't know.
With the steak?
You could not put that on OnlyFans because of the blood from the steak.
You couldn't.
But no, like I'm knocked out of my bed, and then I wake up to Jaxton staring down at me, and there's a piece of meat coming towards my mouth. Not like that, but
it was on the OnlyFans.
I had just cooked steak. Yes.
Yeah, you just cooked steak, and holy shit! Like I tasted it, I should say. And oh my God, was it the nectar of the gods? It was so good.
I tested it. He tested it.
I tasted it.
You tested it. That's the same thing, right?
Tested
it? Mm-hmm. I bet it was was
his meat was delicious. Jackson's meat was
Your meat would
amazing.
be fantastic, I suppose.
It was good. It was good.
I'm a podcaster, just know that.
But no, homie, I appreciate you taking the time out of your crazy schedule.
I didn't want him to choke, so I pre-chewed it for him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a bird vomiting into another bird's mouth.
That's exactly how I fed him.
I gotta go.
Is that he just saw it in my teeth.
He saw it in my teeth, and I started chewing it, and he just opened his mouth, and I just...
Did you submit this to rotten.com?
We're moving forward. We're moving
more like
forward.
Rotten Tomatoes, yeah.
But homie,
it's going to be a major motion picture.
I appreciate you coming on and telling us the smart stuff. Because you're always
for sure. Thank you so much for having me on, and yeah, it's great to talk about it. I'm really interested to see what happens and stuff. But yeah, thanks, guys.
No, we will. We'll talk to you later. Anything else you want to say before we head out? Before we let you go?
No. I don't have any famous last words. Not tonight.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
What a sweet lady.
Oh my God, no, I love her to death. She is amazing.
Educational too.
Very.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned a lot today.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
I think
you
at
guys tired? How's your stamina right now?
I think at the end. Oh, I have plenty of energy. It's Friday.
That's true.
I worked all week. I think at the end of the day, what the hardest part about doing sex work is it's really the discrimination that you get from everyone, from all sides and angles. And it's like, not only discrimination, but the exploitation. You mention someone, you're open about what you do, and they're like, oh, like, what do you do for work? And you're like, oh, like, I have a Monday through Friday. And then you mention OnlyFans, and they immediately off the bat just assume that that's like an invitation for exploiting you. And it's like, making you feel some type of way. And it's like, I'm not an object. I'm not telling you this because I wanted some sort of attention, but it's just the stigma behind it. It's ridiculous. And that's just my personal experience. I don't know how yours is. But for me, it's like I can't tell anyone that that's what I do as my side hustle, because they're like, oh, that's what you do. And I'm like, no, I wasn't telling you because I want you to come on to me. I'm telling you because this is also how I make my money. So at this point, I don't even tell people, but that's not a good thing. I shouldn't hide what I do as a side hustle because I'm worried that other people are going to take it the wrong way.
I can't relate to that level because I'm very extrovert and I'm very open when it comes to everything that I do. I say some offensive things on my podcast. I say some stupid shit when I get up on stage. I talk some nonsense when I guest start another show. I am off the edge when I'm out of the office, but at the same time, I think I've developed my persona and my character in the the 9 to 5 world where it's more accepting and understanding of the behavior that I exhibit behind the microphone. And it sucks that someone like yourself, who is very well educated and has a wonderful understanding of that content world, that you have to keep them separated. Because if you were to unify them, the sky's the fucking limit.
Yeah.
My network has grown because of the fact that I talk about what I do on the mic while I'm at work. I'm inviting people to my things. I'm posting on my social media. My Facebook is an open book to my world, and I do get some negative feedback every now and then from some people, but it is what it is. I enjoy what I do because I'm living life, and damn, I can't even fathom.
Well, like you've seen my Instagram. So for me, my Instagram, it's art. I work with amazing photographers, amazing artists. And for me, when I post on there, yes, of course, I'm promoting myself. But not only that, I'm promoting a world of art. And so the moment that people see that, they think it's like this gateway, this door, and I'm just opening it. And it's like, it's a doorway that you can just walk in and just completely just obliterate me and my person. And granted, yes, it's like I may seem overly sexual on my social media, but I'm still a person and I want to be treated like a person. I think that that's the hardest part. Is I want it to be separate in a sense that I want to be respected for what I do. I don't want people to think, oh, well, you show yourself nude on the internet, so I don't really have to respect you that much. Well, no, that's not the case at all. I still deserve to be respected. I'm a person. So, and it's been a struggle for me. I think that that's probably the hardest part in being in the industry.
I gotta say, Jaxton, I've known you for.
Thank you for sharing.
For about a year, and no, that's seriously that takes a lot right there, because that's some emotional baggage that not a lot of people can actually have the strength to carry.
You know how hard it is to date. You know how hard it is.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard. They're like, oh, you got an Instagram? I'm like, nope, no social media. Don't have any. Don't want you there.
Don't find my link
I
tree.
got you. I mean, because I got it from the same angle, right? So I'm on the bi spectrum, but I've only ever dated women. But like I said, I'm on the bi spectrum. So I have to announce, I've done an avid amount of gay porn. I'm involved heavily with the gay community. I do bi porn, trans porn, all this type of stuff. I'm known. Like, if we hang out, people are going to reach out to you out of their way in an attempt to sway you against me. Like, I have all this stuff that surrounds me, like from the industry itself, and then half of it's just being the sex worker itself. So when you have those discussions with somebody you're either trying to date, or even when we go out at night and we're going to meet someone, like, oh, cool, you're in this industry. And you're like, oh, well, guess what I do? And then as soon as you announce what you do, you know they're not going to take you seriously anymore.
Oh, they have a million questions. You're like, I don't really feel comfortable like just sitting here talking. It's not like I didn't open the door for that kind of conversation. I was just saying.
Right. And what I was
passing comments like, what do? I walk dogs all day.
But it's
that's
like,
how I wanted to be.
So like let's say you want to hang around some people who are of affluence, not even affluence, but you just want to get to better places in your life. So you surround yourself with people who know how to do better.
Yeah.
They won't let you in that circle if you're a sex worker. Like being a sex worker is one of the most discriminated jobs in the world, being that we could be the greatest people. We could be the most talented in the room. But because of our occupation, we're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be happy, but entertain us.
Not happy.
Yeah,
not necessarily happy. You're not allowed to have that. What's all to be offered in life.
I want to go off of that right there because I've known you for I think since November. No, December. December is when we started hanging out.
Of last year,
yeah, of last year. And I gotta say, like, you quickly became like one of my good friends. Like you've been to my house. We've
guys shared of meat.
Yeah, we share. We swap meat, all that good stuff. We skinny dipped in the pool one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
You're like fucking.
We touched tips.
Yeah, we touched tips. And I value you. I value you, Jaxton, as a human being because you're so fucking genuine. You're so fucking cool. And for you to be denied that in any way, shape, or form, those guys are fucking pieces of shit because you've hung out with me and attorneys. You've hung out with me and like the artsy people, with everybody.
It's getting more and more accepted. Just, over the past decade, it's, I'm sure before then it was even tougher.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. But I wanted to make a point though, before I forget it. Now, I do come from the male side and I am a bisexual male. So still within the straight community, I get a lot of discrimination, a lot of hate. Like half the females I'll meet, right? You tell them this and I was being like, oh, you're just a cocksucker, blah, blah, this or blah, 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 that. Because you do you can't be straight or you can't be attracted to women because you do this or that.
Right.
All the ignorant stuff that you get from an undereducated country. But if I was a female, like this world even further steps on them like you wouldn't believe, from the laws, from the way things are written, how they're treated, just the fact that like as men we don't hold ourselves accountable or even our friends accountable when we see them making like a female uncomfortable. Like in America, it's the focus is more awareness on consent and accountability right now. You go to Europe and even worse in Middle Eastern countries, it's almost a cultural thing where you'll see men just all up in women's space,
right?
Grabbing on them, smoozing on them. Really, like, and half these girls, half the time, like, really just don't want to be approached on that way. But the culture is for them just to be silent and just kind of go with the flow.
And that goes back into the dating world for me, like I'm going to be transparent about it because the majority of the people are not okay with it. The majority of men in particular that I've come in contact are not okay with it. For them, they're like, well, if you're with me, I don't want other people to see you that way. And I respect that. I'm not going to discriminate against that. That's fine. That just easily just goes to show, okay, fine, we're not compatible because I'm not going to stop doing what I like doing because it makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
And I'm not going to make you uncomfortable. I'm just not going to stop. So it's been hard because it's like, where do I find this point in time where it's like, oh, by the way, I don't want to right off the bat be like, I do OnlyFans. So I'm like trying to ease my way into it. I'm like, oh yeah, I also do this. And the moment it's either like, it's so far left or so far right. There's never like a solid in between. It's always like, oh, you do OnlyFans. Like, what else? Like, send me some stuff. I'm like, first of all, you can go and subscribe and fucking pay for it like the rest of the community.
It seems like the dating pool exists only within lifestyle people because they're the only ones that are mature enough and they have the mindset to handle someone that isn't just exclusively with them. It's such a simple mindset. And going back to the very beginning when we talked about, like, what is the industry like maybe taught or if I got out of it? Like, one of the things I loved about the industry was I've always wanted to be like really, really secure in my relationships, but I wasn't someone who grew up to be that way as I was cultured. So like being within the industry and just seeing other people and other examples of like poly relationships or being in the BDSM world is even funner. You know, you got tribes and shit like that, and just people who live together harmoniously, just working together and shit. And then just most recently, really getting more involved in the lifestyle itself, like swingers and things like that, has helped me just become a lot more secure.
Yeah.
About myself as a male. Like I still have you always need your boundaries for things.
And not to discredit like people who, are of the lifestyle and that aren't, you can have a fully functional relationship and, not, not give in, but like practice that lifestyle because for them, one is enough.
Right.
In those who practice lifestyle. And I can't fully comment because I'm not part of it. I can't see myself being in an open relationship. I can't see myself, sharing my partner with someone else. It's just for me that just doesn't fly.
Right. It's a difference of morality that comes to it because honestly, we have been taught from our natural beginnings that some of us have very opposites of where we started. Is that incorrect? That's a fair assessment. And if we look at where our humble beginnings come and where we are now, we're still all in the same community. I really hope that you guys that really ceases to be. I recommend more of like the art community in Orlando or wherever you are located. Those people are very understanding, and we have a big community here in Orlando. So if you call this home, take a look around.
100%.
Yeah. I almost see I see it from the gay angle mostly. If there's something that's going to happen in this general area for like hate crimes or racism, it's usually against gay people because of Pulse and the things that happened here. Some people are still against that, even with that tragedy behind us. Orlando is now probably one of the most accepting places due to that fucking problem. And when you hear people still suffering of any kind of, because that is to me the representation of what our community is here. Because I am sorry you have to still go through those things. Now, I mean, people can be amoral and be dumb and be stupid in a bar and say stupid shit. But do these people like actively reach out to you to be assholes? Like on the internet and on all the things that you do with all your mediums. Is it come from you that way, or is it more of an in-person, like, I can finally judge you now kind of thing because you're here?
I definitely personally think it's more of a social media base because people like to hide behind their mask.
Right.
And that's not a COVID pun. They definitely like to hide behind their masks and hide behind their screens because they don't have the courage to say it to you in person. So it just goes to show like what their thought process is. They don't even have the courage to say it to your face, and they hide and they say these things, whether it be discriminating against you or just exploiting you in general. And I don't feel like what I do, I'm asking for it. And I think that that's like the whole shitty stigma. Sorry if I don't know.
I fully understand.
Yeah,
this has been a fucking
I said
swear-free show.
When I said cum rocket earlier, I meant CUMROC.
I was just trying to
that chair, okay?
Like we are ejaculating to
now
the fucking
you've blown
moon.
The fucking lid off it.
We did it.
God,
It's like a cigarette.
Damn
now.
it.
Dang it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just it's so hard, it's not like, oh, I do this, oh, I'm asking for it.
Right.
That's not me asking for it. I didn't ask for anything. I didn't ask for you to put me in this position. I'm doing what makes me happy, what fucking pays my bills, and you're the one that decided to go out of your way to try to ruin my day. But I think what's good about it is also I have built up a tolerance, which is also kind of shitty to say. I built up a tolerance towards assholes. Like, great, awesome. That just goes to show how many fucking assholes there are in the world,
Right.
But yeah, so people hiding behind their computers, they definitely don't do it in person.
They're
I'm
pretty
working
shitty
on
to you
something,
online.
guys. God.
Let me ask you
when
a question.
when I
Jack.
first-
Same question.
When I first got into it, like I learned who my friends were. So
Yes,
there
absolutely.
was a drop off definitely in people associating with me in person. No, I don't. I haven't, because I'm not in jail right now, so I have not experienced anybody to my face like coming and causing me a
Right.
problem.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But it is
It is.
It's never to your face. It's just how things work. It's always behind your back. Doesn't matter if you're trying to get a job and people find out shit and they try to find a way to fire you, or they're going to use that against you.
Imagine someone coming up in your face. Like, you're at a bar, you're just chilling, someone's like, they recognize you, and they just, like, come say some shit in your face. It's like, I don't think that would go over very well, depending on how many drinks I've had, to be honest.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not an aggressive person. I'm a very nice person. Even if you talk shit in my face, I'm not going to, like, explode in your face. Right. But I will hit you with some hit you with some intelligence. That's what, right. I'm like,
intellect smash time.
Like, okay.
I'm kind of like open and welcoming.
Intelligence. Sorry.
I'm always kind of like open and welcoming as long as they're like respectful when they come up to me.
It's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's how I portrayed my career anyways. So for me to be like an asshole when they finally come up to me, I just feel it would be hypocritical.
Being receptive of the, whether it be discrimination, you're receptive of whatever it is. And I think that speaks volumes for people in the industry, because I can't imagine we're the only ones that feel that way. I imagine that it's a plethora of people.
Oh, yes. So. Oh, yes.
I do have to ask, will you guys come back and join us again when we have another one of these things happen? Because you guys are the greatest correspondents for the adult world.
Are you going to have the pimple next time?
I really hope not. I really hope not. But maybe I'll make a fetish niche.
I heard that toothpaste, specifically like the white toothpaste, that pressed.
I need to buy some for my car, so we're gonna do a double doozy on this one tonight.
Well, your car?
Yeah, I hit some wood the other day with a door, and it made a white spot. So everybody's been saying toothpaste.
You said wood, and now I'm thinking you hit your dick in your car door. I don't.
Oh,
you need toothpaste.
I don't know.
If we're going here,
you need a toothpick for your hole.
Toothpaste for his wood.
Oh, this is exciting.
You wanted to go there,
so we
finally
nail it down. Adults are coming to tell the children how it goes.
Aaron, anything
this is sounding.
Anything you want to plug, bro, before we head out of here?
All right. Is this it then?
I mean, I'm good. I mean, I know these guys have stuff to do. I just want to make sure everyone's good on time. If
you guys good
if y'all
on
ready
time?
to wrap it up, I believe me, I can go on for hours.
Oh, we got another one, maybe 2 minutes left.
Okay,
and
2
it's
minutes.
the emo time.
Did you have any more questions about?
No, honestly, I just wanted to hear your guys' standpoint and view on everything that's going on with, the crazy shenanigans that's going on in the OnlyFans world. We got a great insight from, a performer. We got a great insight from someone, heavily involved in the industry itself. And then we got a caller who threw in some, some really big words.
It's true.
Yeah.
She gave some business on the spin.
So I came for the free pizza.
You know what?
Wait, where's
I'm
the pizza?
going to go ahead and Venmo him $10 to go take you to Lazy Moon. Free plug. They deserve it. And here's why you get a free plug, Lazy Moon. You need to be open again like regular hours and stop closing at 10 on Monday through Thursday. That is bullshit.
10 p.m.
So you get who eats pizza before 10 p.m.?
I'm drunk at 10:30. I don't understand.
I want to play the stupid games in your bar at 10:45 while eating a cowabunga style pizza like Luigi.
You didn't tell me I'd be placed
Aaron,
between two heathens.
Anything you want to plug? What pissed you off this week? Real quick, what pissed you off this week?
I'm leaving town because fuck these people.
Fair and valid. Jackson, what pissed you off this week, and then anything you want to plug?
So
I don't have the time.
All right. Well, what made you happy this week? Something that like brought your spirits up.
Oh, my friends. I had a slew of friends swing by and help me out.
Nice.
All
right. So, what about you, man? What was something that made you happy this week?
Dreams come true. Hopefully.
Okay.
Apparently, I have one more episode, so I gotta be.
Anything you want to plug, Jackson?
No, I mean, I got my Instagram up at Jaxton Wheeler. If anybody wants to follow it, got some cool stuff going on. Hopefully, since I got on stage with Limp Bizkit a few weeks ago, I'm gonna make like a swing into something music.
That was pretty epic, bro.
I did my best.
You killed it, bro.
I did my best.
Jerry, anything? What made you happy this week, and then anything you want to plug?
Oh, I thought we were talking about what things that didn't make us happy.
What pissed you off this week?
Listen, okay.
You see the get up? You see the get up?
Hold on. You listen. These Instacart shoppers, okay? If I say I want feta cheese, don't give me goat cheese. Now, I love goat cheese, but if I need it for a recipe, don't fuck with me and then just put your own substitution. I didn't put that. Anyways, what made me happy this week?
You have goat cheese now.
Preach, child.
I can't say that
Preach.
there was anything in particular other than the fact that, you have those weeks where you just have this realization where you're just happy to be alive. You're happy to have a roof over your head, food in your belly. You're happy to be somewhat stable. And I think that that's what made me happy, is just knowing that I'm doing okay and staying optimistic. And I think that just goes for the show in general, is like everything that we've said tonight. Like, I'm going to stay optimistic, even about the OnlyFans thing. Like, I'm going to be okay. I think we're all going to be okay. And that's the mindset we should have.
Yeah. The name of your podcast?
The name of my podcast is 13th Elm. So we talk about true crime, horror, all the good stuff. The past episode we just did last week, we talked about poisons and different ways they've been used throughout the centuries. So it's not that great, but you can hear my voice. So
there you go.
13 elms?
There you go.
Elms. Where'd you get the S? Where'd you get the plural?
I don't know.
13th Elm. Instagram is cherry_Lamore. If you can't spell Lamore, fucking Google it.
I'll put a link to all your guys' stuff on the Facebook page. But something that made me happy this week was being able to hang out with all the cool people at MegaCon this past weekend. Shout out to Allison Chase, Corbin, and Ian from Maker FX, who welcomed me with open arms as I was a complete stranger to the group. And by the end, we were already friends on Facebook. We had a great time over the weekend. And what upset me was that it had to end.
Yeah.
It had to end. But as always, if you're not laughing, wait a second, let me make sure I have this up right. Yeah, there we go. If you're not laughing, you're not living. Live every day to the fullest, but always do it.
Other side of chaos.
I love you, buddy. We'll see you guys next week.